participating candidates, including the mayor, 2 city council positions, and the city attorney for the 2021 election. If you did not receive a voucher or would like more information about the candidates, call 206-727-8855. Learn more by visiting seattle.gov/democracy voucher.
Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's K-Fox Night Beat with DJ Nastiness.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Women are not an homogenous group.
We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
Dealing with COVID-19 is uncharted territory, and everyone has different challenges. People may feel anxious, down, or overwhelmed. For some, these feelings can lead to changes in sleep patterns, an increased use of alcohol or drugs, or withdrawing from the people around them. If you know someone who's having a hard time coping, you can help by reaching out to talk and listen. To learn more about how you can help someone in need, call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK. Brought to you by the state of Washington.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at rainieravenueradio.world.
Hello world, Bettina Carey here, your host for We Empower You to Shatter Your Glass Ceiling. And as I say, I may only be 4'9.5", but what I do is big. Dream big, break through, and connect with powerful people like yourself. And we're helping folks to kick self-imposed limitations to the curb and to teach others how to live their legacies right now. So do you feel empowered in all areas of your life? If you're honest, like most people, you'll say no. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you to make important decisions about how you can be more powerful in your life. And we're coming together with wonderful speakers and guests that are going to share with you opportunities to be more empowered in your life. I'm a Latina, as you can see, and I'm inspiring and empowering bold women and men to create big results. We Empower You is live on Rainier Avenue Radio, thanks to Tony B for having us. And our main question is, want to unlock your inner power and hidden potential? Because our show features guest stories that are insightful, educational, inspirational, and entertaining. And it's stories of breaking through, breaking the rules, breaking the status quo, inspiring and empowering others. And each of our guests has unique perspective in terms of their circumstances that drives them to live out their dreams of owning a small business. And our guest today is going to wow you, and she has certainly broken through her own glass ceiling. And as we say, shattered it. And I'm going to first make a very special announcement, though, before we get started, because we have a really important day coming up. And so from Rainier Avenue Radio, presenting a 3-day-long Earth Day Summit entitled Earth Deserves More Than a Day. And that's April 20th through the 22nd. These are 3 days of discussions and stories and film. And it's pretty incredible lineup that features environmental justice issues. Like Earth Day is the day, right? It's actually Thursday, April 22nd. But Rainier Avenue Radio says our partners, Front and Centered and Social Film Justice Institute, believes Earth deserves more than a day. Check out our website at www.rainieravenueradio.world for more information. So let's get started with a little introduction about wonderful Morrison. And yes, you heard it right here. That is not a stage name. That is her real name. As a personal leadership coach and business consultant, Wonderful's purpose is to help fempreneurs boost their visibility and build a stronger brand without feeling overwhelmed by crafting powerful, clear, and concise messaging through her BRAVE method that stands for bold, radical, authentic, visible engagement. Drawing from her 20 plus years of being successful in business as an owner and scholar, she supports women entrepreneurs leading a free 7-day business retreat, a 7-day-a-week business boot camp, a 3-month business incubator program, and personal leadership workshops. And she's all about creating customized strategies that help to facilitate a profitable business and a more empowered entrepreneur. Welcome, Wonderful. It's so great to have you here today.
Hi, thank you so much. That's I'm learning so much about the station and what you guys do just from your introduction, and what an exciting opportunity to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, it's really always great to see you. You're such a beautiful woman, as well as a very powerful entrepreneur. And so I can't wait to get started. I have, of course, prepared for this interview for just a week or so, but we've known each other. And we recently had an interview with you on your Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. So you shared with me at that time a real important story about shattering the glass ceiling, where you've risen up to where you are today. And I think it's a story worth sharing with our audience. So give us a thumbnail version of this story and how you came to be working with fempreneurs.
So my journey into entrepreneurship was not a plan, right? I went to school originally to be a journalist. I wanted to be a field journalist in war-torn countries. I just had an affinity for sort of that chaotic space of delivering and documenting information to others on a global scale and national scale. And then in the process of that, I was introduced to entrepreneurship. And I thought, you know what? I'm 22. It's all good. I have all this time and energy. Who needs sleep at that age, right? So I jumped in. And the interesting thing is that when you're 22, you have passion and will and determination, but have zero credit, right? Like my husband and I had no credit, and we went to banks to ask for a loan, and we were getting turned down left and right. Like, to the point where it's very difficult for me to feel absolutely defeated. But after that 10th bank of laughing us out of there, I thought, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't the thing. I don't know. And we had gone to a relative's family home to help him with his garden. And he was sort of this recluse, undercover. I didn't know what he was about, other than just being a really great uncle. And he caught me on the bench just crying under this tree, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, we want to own this business, but nobody will let us borrow money because we're 22 and we have nothing, right? We just the students, but we have all this desire and will and determination." Yeah. And he just listened, and then he walked away, and he came back like 10 minutes later with a check in his hand. No joke, for the exact amount of what we were asking for. And he said, "Okay, honey, now this doesn't mean I'm giving it to you, but you've got to pay it back within 5 years." And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I got this. So I went all ahead, and again, no information, no knowledge, nothing. just a lot of will and grit and determination.
What you don't know won't hurt you or will hurt you.
We did know one thing is we had to pay this money back to this gracious relative. So we went straight to work on it. And at the time we had one child, 20. I mean, it was just whatever you can imagine. It's what it was. And I remember we decided, how do we actually create a successful business at this age? And how do we make this work? And we're in an industry that's very male dominated and also very, it has a sort of this air of secret society to it, right? I mean, Bruce Lee was actually one of the very first martial artists to introduce martial arts outside of this cultural sort of society that it belongs to. And so we just decided, well, who out there is doing this that's successful? Okay, that was not easy in the 90s because we didn't have Google. There was no internet. We didn't have cell phones. It was just a lot of research in our own time. And that was really the first steps. So moving forward, 5 years in, it's going great. And I remember bringing up to our master, I think we need to introduce other forms and other disciplines into the arena. And mind you, there was the only real connection we had with our master at the time was that he was our master, but we didn't owe him any kind of, like, there was no written document that said we were tied to. And he was like, no, that's not going to happen. Because within the martial arts society, remember, this is the 90s. And 70s was when it was just coming out into the general public. For centuries, it is a secret sort of, you've got to be brought into it within your family and the ranks and things like that. No, wasn't going to happen. And I was like, okay, this is our choice. We either survive being a small business with children that supports our family, or we stick to tradition, which is that pulls at your heart, right? I love tradition. I'm about all of that, but I'm also about shattering the glass ceiling. And no one was with it. No one was for us. It was not a thing that you do. But our survival in the business had to be that. So we made a few people very angry at us. And within the 10 years of the first 10 years of the business, I never had to get another job. My husband didn't have to go get another job. We sustained a family of 5. We're able to create multiple streams of income from that, and very financially successful. I went back to school to get my business degree because I thought, oh, this is a thing. We're going to make this happen. And since then, it really, combined with my education and experience, it really led me to where I'm at today. So 5 years ago, we sold everything, and we were just going to like sit around and be like, all right, what do we do now? And then business coaching and business consulting really came to me in terms of by accident, like what most people will say. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's just fell in my lap, but which is a great thing to say in the beginning, but it isn't how you sustain a business also, right? Because there has to be other pieces and parts that create a sustainable, long-term, profitable business. So that is really how I got here. Now, the online world is kind of what martial arts was in the 90s. People know about it, but it isn't quite an understood platform and forum, right? Mm-hmm. We're still really learning. And with COVID, in isolation, these types of platforms are growing by leaps and bounds. And there is a huge, huge group of us that are unaware of the power that it has. So then that's when I realized that boosting our visibility in this online space is really about crafting a powerful message to say, in an authentic way, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is who I need to hear what I have to say. So I hope that's that's a version that is short enough and also has enough information.
Yes. And so I of course, preparing for this interview, I went to your website, and I know that you talk about teaching mindset hacks to help people to achieve every dream, you say, every goal, break free from everything that is actually holding them back. And you add that you want to help folks find their magic. I will add pixie dust that they've had all along, only they didn't know it. You also reference Beyonce uses secrets to create her optimal success, and that they can harness that to become their own dream girl. So share a little bit more about this brave method that you are part of, and so folks can learn a little bit more.
So one of the biggest human fears is speaking in public forums, right? Public speaking, public stage, it's actually above death. Seriously, like this is an actual thing. They've done studies on it, and asked a bunch of people, what's your greatest fear? And what hits number one is public speaking or speaking on stage. Well, it's very similar to online. The online world is a stage, right? And for us to be effective business leaders, we need to get past that, because that's where the dreams are. That's where your magic is, right? People don't really understand what you're capable of in terms of helping them with a solution unless you are very clear about who you are and what you have to offer. Because there's 7 billion people on Earth. There's 4 billion active users on social media across the land. How does anybody hear what you have to say? Because we're all saying the same thing, right? We're all saying confidence. We're all saying courage. We're all saying real. We're all saying good. But there's a piece of you, the real piece of you that's attached to that doesn't come to the forefront, because we have this subconscious innate fear to be judged, rejected. Like these are all the things that are tape recorded in our brain, and we see social platforms as a stage. So it's like, I don't want to do it. So in the Brave method, we spend 7 days every day. I encourage the participants to do it. Sometimes it's some people's very first, and they're petrified. Like, I mean, I'll get messages throughout the day going, "Oh, I've been sick about it all day," and I say, "Do you have the national secret in your possession?" And they're like, "What?" And I said, the numbers that only the president and the top level military people have? And they'll know. Okay, then what are you going to say that's going to cause the FBI or anyone to come and break down your door and grab you? Like, what you have to say is important, because only you can deliver it, right? When you, Bettina, for instance, I love how you introduce yourself as I'm 4'1.5" kind of thing. It's
9.5.
9.5. And I think that is your magic for people to recognize in their brain that small packages come with a big punch, right? Yep. Small things come in big fierceness. And that's you. That is you. Only you can say that. Only you say it with such strength and power. And you make your dreams come true by being super authentic in who you are. And so the Beyonce story is, she was Sasha Fierce for years. So before she'd get on stage, her alter ego was Sasha Fierce. And then it got to the point where she became the thing she needed to be. So no longer is she Sasha Fierce, because she is that embodiment already. So that's very similar to that. That's what I mean when I say that.
Well, let's dive a little deeper into the Brave, right? So obviously, you've come up with this acronym for a reason.
Yes.
Besides the obvious Brave word, but tell us, go word by word, what does it mean, and what can folks get out of your program?
Again, bold is a word we're all familiar with. However, it is not how people are showing up online. we are kind of pushing the limit, but we are not showing up in our greatest self. So bold is really showing up in your greatest self. And it doesn't mean you have to be loud and bright, and it's whoever you are, right? It's whoever you are in the space that you're in. Now, let's use the example of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. Same industry, two different people. But they're both very powerful in how they show up. They're very bold in how they show up. So that's what really it's about. And radical, like, let's be honest, to show any kind of movement in the online space, there has to be some radicalness to you. Like, you don't just say, oh, we need to be the best and attain the greatest. No, you're saying shatter your glass ceiling. That's a radical thought process. That's not a, oh, it's okay, or it's good, or it's even great. It's radical to say, I'm going to shatter your ceiling. We're shattering ceilings here. This is not right. And authenticity that's the language you communicate in. Some people have a tone that is different, right? Some have high energy, some have mid energy, some have peace energy, some have, Mother Teresa energy, some have Jane Goodall energy. Oprah is a completely different person than Barbara Walters, but both are exactly authentic in how they communicate. So that's what that's about. And then visibility. I mean, what else? If we're not being visible, no one sees us. Right? Gone are the days of the yellow pages. I'm dating myself there, but that is really where we're at today. Visibility is people need to see, because the other thing is people are done being sold to. They're just over it. With the political climate we've been dealing with, like, being sold to is not. So when you're visible and people can see how you move and how you communicate, 70% of how people see you is in your body language, not in the words that you say. So if you're not being visible, people can't know, like, and trust you. It's very tough, right? Yep. And then engagement is it. I say this all the time. Women ask me, well, what happened? When people are commenting, I just think it's great. But do I really need to respond to everything? And my question to you is, have you ever gone to a party, been in a group setting of a conversation, and somebody asks you a question and make a comment about your outfit or your hair or your glasses or your scarf, and you do not reply? Do you just stand there cold and don't open your mouth to say thank you, or I got it here, I got it there? That's the same thing. Social media is that space where you are in a room chatting it up with a group of people. Respond. Absolutely, it's appropriate, and you should do it all the time. And does it take work? Yes.
Yes, it's interesting because we host weekly meetings for We Empower You, and we invite our members to actually invite folks to our wonderful mixers and our strategy session, which is Wednesdays at 3:00 to 5:00, and they'll say, well, somebody said they had a hair appointment, or they had a dentist appointment, or they're out of the country. I said, that's engagement. Tell them, great, we'll see you when you get back. Tell them, we meet every Wednesday. Engagement is engagement. And, find that common thread that runs, with each of us. I was just listening to the show that was just before us, and I want to call those ladies up and talk to them as well, because at the end of the day, they're talking my language as well. So engagement is really, really key. And, all of the acronym of BRAVES is definitely something that I resonate with. So that's, of course, why we are here today to interview. How can folks get a hold of you to sign up for your Facebook group that you run, as well as your other programs?
Well, that's a national secret, Bettina. I'm just kidding. It is not exclusive. However, the group is private because I want to maintain it to fempreneurs, right? There are other people who would benefit from the information in there and the trainings. However, my passion is for women who are running businesses. So it's Lead Her Ship community in Facebook. And there's a couple questions prior to getting on. And then I really maintain everything in that group because what I believe and how I built businesses in the past is when you focus in one arena versus 800 arenas, the likelihood of consistency in your message and consistency in who hears you is so much more powerful. So you can email me also at my name, morrison.wonderful@gmail to ask any type of information, but most of everything I do is within the group of Lead Her Ship community. My Instagram is part business and part personal. I really wanted to maintain a space for me to have fun and for people to get to know me, just not always about business, because the thing is, business requires focus. It requires discipline. It really requires you to have grit and determination. These things is how business grows. But then there's this other part of me that's not always about structure and systems and plans. And so I want to spread that love as well. And my Instagram handle is very wonderful_Morrison. And you'll get half and half on there. But like I said, most of my coaching and trainings, all of my free programs you will find in the Leadership Community Facebook group. It's free. There's no charge. It's not a membership kind of thing. So come join us. And I
wonderful to have you. I've got another quick announcement to make because our next show coming up is God is Inspiration. And DJ Smith T is going to be on right after. If you're going to be on this show and watching us, listen or watch and share the weekly RainierAvenue.world on Thursdays from 1:30 to 2. There's another way to connect with us, and that's at our We Empower You Global Virtual Summit, which is coming up June the 9th. We have 500 tickets that we have available for free. Text the number 555-888 and enter the word Bettina into the comment section. Wonderful. It's been great to have you. We'll have to have you back again this summer. Bye for now, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Ask most anyone if they feel empowered in all areas of their life. If they're honest, they'll likely say no. Hi, I'm Bettina Carey, and I may be only 4'9½", but what I do is big. Dream big, break through, and connect to powerful people like you. And what I'm doing is inspiring and empowering others to break through, shatter their revenue glass ceiling. And I'm here to tell you that the We Empower You community is where you're going to want to be. It's a community, it's a membership, it's a movement. And what we're doing is helping you to start and run your online business without doing a thing. We're helping you to find angel investors that you don't have to pay back, to run your own membership program where you don't have to do the work, and so much more. We are here to empower you at the We Empower You Global Summit and the WeEmpowerYourLife.com. Visit us on the web at WeEmpowerYourLife.com or text the word Bettina to 555-888. We'll see you at the summit.